What's up, witches? ZenWitch here. Something just landed on my porch, and instead of doing what I usually do, which is take the plastic off and maybe a quick look through, I decided to go straight to shooting the video. So here we go. I have Ciro Marchetti's Gold... Take two. What's up, witches? I have Ciro Marchetti's Gilded Reverie Lenormand Expanded Edition. Same thing, not top and bottom. Gilded Reverie Lenormand showcases the digital artistic talents of Ciro Marchetti with captivating imagery on gilt-edge cards. This expanded edition includes 8 special supplemental cards, as well as an extra man, lady, and owls card to enrich Lenormand readings. The 80-page guidebook provides expert instruction by Lee Burston, Donnelly de la Rose, and others for reading with this deluxe 47-card deck. So Ciro Marchetti has done some interesting things. I have his Kipper cards. And do I have a tarot? Yes, I have Legacy of the Divine tarot by him. And he seems to go like from one extreme to the other. In Legacy of the Divine, he had like 4 people besides himself doing meanings for every single card. So you've got lots of different opinions on it. And then when he went to... I think it's the Lenormand, but I think I have another deck of his as well, and I can't remember. So why don't I look that up so that you know? But he went to... You guys already know what these cards mean, so I'm not going to give you any meanings for them. It's like, you know, how about we kind of run hot and cold? So it seems with this deck as well, he has a couple other people that are going to be authoring on it. Here we go with the Gilded Reverie, and there's this lovely little... snappy box. God, I am a mess. Look at this. You know, I could have thrown on some makeup or brushed my hair or something, but I didn't. Anyway. All right. Here's the little book. And here's the deck. So the backs of the cards, hold on one second. Here's the Fin de Siècle Kipper. Look at the twin packaging. So these are decks that want to be used together. Same kind of box. And here's the card backs for the Lenormand, and here's the card backs for the Kippers. Very similar style. These, though, I wonder if the tarot looks like that at the back. Oh, well, you can go look at those videos yourself. Go to my channel, search Ciro Marchetti, and you will find out. All righty. Let's zoom you in. All right. Here we go. Let's look at the backs again. And look at the sides. Looky, looky. Here's the back. Okay. Rider. Now, I will tell you that it's been a little hot minute since I have worked with the Lilies in any type, except for the Russian Roma, but that, you know, straight up Lenormand. I was working with them for a little while, and they were taking me into a place that was causing me a lot of anxiety. So just the constant focus on what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen, it is not good for me. All right. So I don't, you know, I might be a little loose on what some of these cards mean, but I'll do my best. Here's the Rider card, and they do give you the correspondence to a playing card deck, the 9 of Hearts. The Rider is movement, information, something coming in. Here is Clover, 6 of Diamonds. That denotes luck, of course. And here's the Ship, 10 of Spades. Ship talks about long-distance travel. The House, King of Hearts, property, stability, your physical body, stuff like that. Ooh, looky here. So the Tree, 7 of Hearts, the Tree talks about, roots, obviously, and so ancestry, Health, I remember now, it means health. It's interesting that we've got the tree of life of the Kabbalah here. So there is also a very esoteric vibe. And look at the rainbow arcing through. Let's go to the book and see what it says. Tree. I am here to stay and grow. I am the health of your body, mind, and soul. Okay, perfect. Look for the cards next to me to find out more about me. When negative cards are close, pack some tissues for your nose. Okay, sign of health and longevity, and the imperative to put one's roots down to ensure a secure future. So, and it talks about the card's presence could indicate a health condition that is inherited. Combine this card with the previous card of the house, and we have a tree house that speaks of security but great family responsibility. So they do some combinations. Interesting. All right. And they talk about just general health, body, mind, and spirit. So the Kabbalah there, the Sephiroth, or the tree of life, is a perfect reminder of that. Here are clouds. Clouds usually mean confusion, something obscured, something going into hiding. The snake. That's a great image. It really, if you just have a snake kind of coiled and lying in the sun, what does that really mean? But this clearly denotes a threat, imminent danger. And here's the coffin. So we've got Anubis, and we've got a sarcophagus. That's very cool. Bouquet. And the card says Gilded, Reverie, Lenormand. That's the Queen of Spades. What is the bouquet? It's like kudos, awards, achievements, something like that. I think celebration. Here's the sickle. Something gets cut. Disruption. Sorry, I keep fucking with this camera. But it keeps going crooked on me. I think I must be pulling on the cord somehow. Anyhow. 11 is the whip and the scourge. So this talks about trials, and it can actually talk about things that repeat because of the, lashes or whatever. All right. Punishment, things like that. Birds. This is gossip communication, verbal communication. The owls. So this is a new extra card. I would assume that the owls mean maybe secret communication because they're birds, and the birds is about chatter and talk, but maybe hidden because it's at night. But let's find out. Owls. And it says right here, owls, birds too. The owls card also indicates communication, but usually of a less frivolous nature. Owls may be sharing their wisdom or urging you to listen to what your elders or learned friends may have to say. Owls may also be telling you to look for other important signs around you. So it is communication that really imparts some wisdom here, but more serious communication. But I think, the idea of it happening at night, owls do stand for wisdom and that sort of thing. But look at the moon there. So it could be, deeper communication. Go with what the book tells you when you're starting. 13, this is the child. And we see, so this can be new beginnings, playfulness. Very sweet image. And this is the fox. Fox in the hen house, something sly going on, somebody being surreptitious, somebody not being straight up. And I'm just really appreciating his artwork here. So he's a digital artist. My son is an artist, and he's a pen and paper artist, and he also is a digital artist. And it's fascinating to see the differences and how he translates one to the other. Overall, what I get is with digital art, there's a fluidity of line because you can do lines and have, whatever application you're using, smooth things out and, kind of process things. So and his colors, his color choice, his use of light, his images are very rich and dynamic, and I do love his artwork. Here's the bear. That talks about strength. So the castle behind can sort of reiterate that, and mama bear energy as well. Here's the star. Is it star or stars? I mean, tarot is star. I think it's stars. Interesting. Birch broom. Instead of like whip and scourge, he calls it birch/broom. But there's clearly a whip on the image. All right. Child, fox, bear, stars. Yes. Shiny sparkles, guidance, and healing is what I promise through a gentle feeling. So hope, inspiration. This one does feel a lot like the tarot star as well. Then we have stork. And that too can talk about something coming in, a gift, I think, new beginning, movements, upgrades, and improvements. I bring spring and a change of season. So this is bringing change. Sometimes it stands for new family addition or simply a new state of evolution. I can be your move or your next promotion. Okay, so this just talks about something moving, something changing. And the dog, of course, is loyalty and friendship. Look at him. Look at what a sweet baby. He's on the front of the book, too. I do so appreciate his artwork. All right, 19 is the castle or the tower. This would be the tower. See, clearly you can see I don't have the images memorized. Yes, tower, corporations, organizations, institutions, things that are built, things that are constructed, things that have structure, so hierarchical things. Right? Achievement, things that you've worked for over time and achieved. The garden is gatherings, celebrations. So you think of social stuff. Is that garden? Let's make sure I'm not getting things wrong here. Dogue. Park is what he calls it. So this must be, is this one of the new ones? Didn't it say? Extra man, lady, and owls. 47. So there's 45 cards ordinary. Lenormand is 36. So, okay, so this is interesting. There's already kind of another layer. And I have another deck called the Lunar Nomad, which I may link at the end of this, that also has, I can't remember how many cards, but it's way more than 36. Okay, park. When you are going to a party, a concert, or a business meeting, I'm here to show up in your reading. You will find me in a reunion or a retreat, a riot, or a picnic. I like crowds and public events, so naturally I'm good with all your networking intents. I like the writing as well. And this is like a little italicized paragraph, and then it goes into more detail, like a verse there. I love it. Okay, mountain, representing obstacles and blockages. Choice. Oh. Okay, now if I looked at this, so is there ordinarily, I mean, there's ordinarily a road card or a path card, but this would be like crossroads, choice. Decisions and choices are what I offer. Yes, so you see the stairway going up and then it splits into two. There's the sun looking and the moon looking. Which way do you choose? All right. All right. And path in regular Lenormand can mean there's a clear choice, that it just shows a single path and says that's the way to go. All right. Ooh, the mice. They're mischievous. They take things. They fuck things up. If you don't want me in your house, you don't want me in your blouse. I bring loss, I bring theft with destruction and decay. I'm your stress and anxiety. I'm the worry in society. I'm your nuisance, I'm your pest. I bring sickness in your nest. Wow, I love these verses. I'd like to have a book with just those. Really quick reference, because that's pretty much all you need to know. And here are, oh, this is heart. Okay, I'm going, here are swans. No, heart. E-M. It says that looks like E and that looks like an M. Oh, I'm forgetting who I'm dealing with. It's a C and an M. It's Ciro Marchetti. I think his initials are in every frickin' thing he does. Yes. Oh, well. You know, he has a right to be proud. Okay, the form of happiness and love is simply drawn in my shape. All right, so happiness and love. And then the ring is commitment, marriage and commitment to something. The book is secret information, information that is not apparent. And then the letter is communication, written communication, contracts. Message, information, a package, certificate, a test result. I would call this contracts too, things that are written out. So more precise communication, more permanent communication is here. And here's the man. And here's the other man. So we've got two aces. They're both ace of hearts. They're both number 28. Now, if you're going to do that, so what's the difference here? One of them is saucier. But if you're going to do that, why not really make it an older man and a younger man? And make them two different numbers so they can both be in the deck at the same time. This doesn't make any sense to have both of these cards in the deck at the same time. So they really are extras, but that makes me sad. They should all be the same. And it's, you know, they're both young. I don't understand. And here's the queen. Now, see, she's clearly older. Is she supposed to be older? But we see our first tit. Ciro, I'm very confused. And they're the same number, so I don't expect there to be two different meanings. Man. Man 1 and man 2. Okay, so man, I could be you, the reader, or the male subject of your reading, or the male partner of the significator. Man 2, I could be you, the reader, or the significant male subject of your reading, or a male partner. So, same thing. The optional second man card might be used to provide a specific reference for a reading, or serve for a same-sex relationship, or provide a choice that might better represent the personality of the male. Okay, so, you know, he's saying that the more sexualized image is for homosexuals, which I don't get that. I mean, just make them two different men, but it is helpful to have and use these because you could designate, like they said, one of them could be the person you're reading for, one of them could be someone significant in their life. All right. Lilies. I always like to see the meaning that they give to lilies because it's weird. It's like inheritance and legacy, and you think, okay, how do you get that from lilies? Lilies, sometimes I think death. You know, lilies denote, they're like funeral flowers, particularly these kind of lilies. But it's about, if you think of the fleur de lis, which is a lily and the emblem of French royalty, then you get this idea of legacy and inheritance, of being an heir to something, or being someone that leaves a legacy for an heir. Calm, peace, and serenity is what this deck says. Your parents and elders show up under my symbol. Yes, parents and elders, that legacy. I bring wisdom and experience. I signify a long-term relationship or ancestry. Contentment and satisfaction is my angle. So the long-term. So when you look at this as like a modifier of something, this would say something happens over a long time, something is in place for the long term. But they also talk about calm and peace and serenity. Okay, here's the sun. Success and charisma and confidence and courage and all of that. Here's the moon. Love and romance. Now see, I would think heart would be love and romance. Intuition and psychic ability. I would be much more inclined. So yeah, happiness and love is the heart. I am your feelings and emotions. I'm your passions and devotions. Just make sure no bad cards are around to spoil this fondness and affection. The Moon, love and romance, intuition, and psychic abilities. So in the case of things that happen at night, that can be, that kind of love and romance. There was something else I was going to say there. Oh, it could reiterate. So if you're asking about romance and you've got the heart coming up indicating something, then the Moon could really reinforce that part of it. So you see, cards that have different, several different meanings come to the fore depending on what's next to it. And if you're a Lenny reader, you know all this stuff. All right, here's Key, which is the key to things, and answer and outcome and solutions. And here's Fish, which talks about money, plenty and abundance. And I have to connect this by the loaves and fishes Bible story of Jesus taking a fish and feeding a whole bunch of people with it. That's the only way I can connect that with money. Water, expansion of flow. Anchor, security. Then we have the cross, and this is usually the end of the basic Lenormand. The bringer of grief, sadness, burden. So a cross is, your cross to bear the burdens that you have to bear. Then we have time. An excellent card to have. Brings time to the forefront. Look around me to better understand my involvement. Certain cards slow me down. Sometimes quick action will get you the crown. So cards next to it can tell you the time frame. And this is, they have a lot to say about time. Bridges. All right. Connection from one place to another, facilitating getting from one place to another. Something that can help you cross a gulf, cross a void, or a chasm. Very interesting there. Then we have dice. Ooh, I am the risk, the gamble you choose to take. Roll the dice. Fascinating. Mask. All right, contradictions, what you hide, what you protect. The well. That's a fabulous symbol. And look at these. These are all 4 suits. These are not... So here's where you know that they're outside of the regular Lenormand, which go from... I can't remember. It's not all of the numbers of a playing deck. All right, so these show all 4 suits. The well, I have many symbolic meanings, wishes, resources, creativity, and healing. If you look intently into the depth of my darkness, you may see your true thoughts reflected and your secret wishes revealed. Wow. Okay, and then we have compass. So something to find your direction. Okay. Labyrinth. When you think you've done everything you can, you hit a wall and have to start again. I'm the labyrinth that keeps you going through trial and error to the end. There are no shortcuts to success, my friend. So it talks about just having to navigate your way through. Keep trying. And this is the magnifying glass. Suggests to you to take a closer look or two. If you did not get clarity from an earlier view, I can provide more focus and a perspective that is new. Wow. All right. I need water. I swear to God, I look like I've been rolling around in the garden. I haven't. Okay. Let's look at the book. This is U.S. Games, by the way, and the copyright is nowhere to be found in the actual book. 2013 and 2017. There we go. All right. Introduction to Gilded, Reverie, Lenormand Expanded Edition. So there's a foreword. I'm going to see if he talks about the extras. Okay, so the alternate man and lady, depending on the genders involved in a specific reading in the owl. The other extra cards added to the Gilded, Reverie, Lenormand were intended to provide further context and perspective to readings. The time card adds details of time to events suggested by the cards, for example, to the rider's arrival or the ship's journey. The dice might provide an interesting complementary twist to the clover, which indicates luck by chance. The dice, on the other hand, represents luck or outcome that is deliberately sought through decision or a risk taken. Choice. Bridges might suggest a more direct connection between other cards beyond the standard one based on their relative positions in the spread. The mask is a somewhat personal trademark and suggests the need for further considerations and evaluation. Okay. When Tally Goodwin... Okay, here's somebody that hadn't been mentioned before. We mentioned Lee Burston and Donnelly de la Rose. When Tally Goodwin was assisting me with the text for the Gilded Reverie, she pointed out that these same images had in fact been part of the earlier games of Goose, which share a common heritage with the Petit Lenormand. The game of the Golden Goose, devised in 1597, includes the bridge, the maze, the prison, death, the alehouse, and the well. And you know what? This is also resonating with the Psycards deck as well. The game of Goose is the prototype for all race games such as the game of Hope. The Goose game also includes the dice. Okay, there's some really interesting things to springboard off of there to do a little bit of research and learn a little bit more. Choosing and working with Lenormand decks. Then we have... And Lee Burston wrote that section. Lee Burston is the creator of the Gay Tarot and the Zodiac Tarot. Okay, so I have Zodiac Tarot. I thought that name sounded familiar. But I don't yet have the Gay Tarot, and I don't know if it's still available. He wrote the accompanying text for the Tarot of Dreams and the Universal Marseille Tarot. He currently serves as moderator of the Eclectic Lenormand Forum. Oh, tarotforum.com. All right, then there are the card meanings, and as I said, we've got a little italicized paragraph at the beginning, and then more detail and some suggestions as to what happens when it's by other cards, you know, how they modify or are modified. All right, let's go through to the past here. All right, then we have how to use the extra cards. There's an extra set of Man and Lady and the Owls. These 11 cards, so 11 additional cards, can be used in various ways. This section focuses on the 8 entirely new cards: Time, Bridges, Dice, Mask, Well, Compass, Labyrinth, and Magnifying Glass. The simplest way of using these cards is to merely add them to the deck, increasing the number of cards from 36 to 44 when reading in lines or using the 3x3 box spread. Okay, so why wouldn't you use the men in the... Okay, never mind. When reading in lines, so laying cards out, reading in lines, or using the 3x3 box spread, you can shuffle the entire expanded deck and deal out the cards as usual. For the Grand Tableau, which uses all the cards in the deck, the greater number of cards requires an adjustment to the spread. For the 8x4 plus 4 Grand Tableau, so you're doing 4 rows, 8 across, and then there's 4 at the bottom, you might add 2 more rows of 4 cards to the bottom of the spread, or an extra row of 8 above the final row of 4. I think I would rather do that. For the 9x4 Grand Tableau, an extra 2 rows of 4 cards each can be centered at the bottom of the spread. These cards won't line up with the rows above them, so they may instead be considered a sort of mini spread that comments on but doesn't directly interact with the cards above. But if they're not directly beneath and like they straddle a line between 2 others, they can kind of join those 2 others. I've been doing a spread lately that I think I need to like denote some categories for it, but it's 3 and then 2 and then 1. Okay. And the ones in between connect the other 2. Following describes a method of laying out the Grand Tableau. Okay, so blah, blah. So we add the extra cards and use them, choosing and removing cards from the spread. Okay, adding new clarifying cards. All right, that's with working with the extra cards. Sample readings with clarifying cards. First card pairing, second card pairing, third, and then we have card spreads, the simple 9 card, a 3x3 square, one of my favorite spreads with Tarot as well, and then there's a 10th card that is taken at the end. Then you get a sample reading, Okay, so the first row of 3 signifies the sitter, the person asking the questions. The second row shows the house, their domestic environment. The third row shows the fortune of the situation, its most likely outcome with any advice. Okay, fortune-telling day. The fortune-telling day spread. 9 cards. So there's 2 rows of 9. In this practice method, which can be uncannily accurate, it's important to keep a journal and to read the cards as pairs, merging their meanings together with each card having equal weight. So you go, all right, lay out 9 cards, and then the next 9 on top of those. Number 1 is someone you will meet, what comes out of that meeting. 2 is someone you care about, what they will do. 3 is someone who annoys you, what they will do. 4 is something that will happen to console you. 5, something that awaits you. 6, something that will help you. 7, something that will happen, which is a surprise to you. 8, something that you desire, whether it will happen or not. And 9, something nice. Okay, and then they do a sample reading there. And then there's the chocolate bar spread. Holy crap. It looks like there's 27 cards. Yeah, this is like the Wheel of Fortune spread has another row. This is 18 cards. Prediction for career, prediction for knowledge. So career, knowledge, wealth, family, health, and relationship. Wow. All right. Well, now comes the problem with Lenny's. What do I ask about? Let me zoom out. All right. Because you got to get topical. You know, you just have to get topical. Oh. Let's do the thing. I'm going to do a small thing. Get out of my ashes. Get out of my ashes. You can tell I wasn't prepared to shoot a video. And I've got my live stream after this, though you will be seeing this 2 days after my live stream. Do the thing. All right. I hope you couldn't see my nail clipper that entire time. So unprepared before I hit the go button. All right, allies and ancestors, guides and guardians, come and be with me. Help my mind to be clear and help me translate the thoughts in my head into words coming out my mouth. Let's do a regular shuffle while my charcoal lights up and ask everybody to be here. Allies, ancestors, guides, and guardians. Come and play with this beautiful deck. Let's play. They loosen up quite readily. They're a little stiff, but they do bend to the will. All right. Okay. Now, I offer you, beautiful new deck, the Fire of Azrael. The energy of divination. Yes, the gift of divination. And I offer you fresh water as well. Now, let's see what we're going to ask about. Heart comes out, so we are talking love here. I think the cards are just going to give us the subject and we'll take it from there. Flying by the seat of our pants here tonight. The form of happiness and love is simply drawn in my shape. I'm your feelings, emotions, I'm your passions and devotions. Just make sure no bad cards are around to spoil this fondness and affection. All right. So, this is our loves, our desires, our emotions. Let's look at, you know what? Let's look at just stress. I have noticed recently that my jaw is clenched 24/7. I wake up in the middle of the night with my jaw clenched. And I take a muscle relaxer every night. During the day, so many times I have to remind myself, unclench your jaw. And I practice meditation. So there's a lot of stress and a lot of tension around us still. Let's ask about our feelings and how we deal with these, how things are going for us in that way. And I'm remembering that these are Lennies, and they don't answer things like that, like what do we need to do? Oops. So the question is about our emotional state, and we immediately go to our physical health, our long-term physical health. So this is saying that we absolutely must take care of this emotional energy in order to take care of our physical health. Emotions are physical. Period. End of sentence. Emotions are physical reactions. We think about them, and our brain provides, ample storylines to go along with every emotion that we experience about right and wrong and who made me feel this way and all that kind of shit. So, we think that there's something that just happens in the cloud that's in your head where your thoughts live. But emotions are physical things. They have a physical impact on us. When you're angry, adrenaline is released. Your body revs up. That's a physical reaction. When you are sad, you weep. That's a physical reaction. When you're scared and anxiety, you feel it in the middle of your chest and you clench your jaw tight. Right? It's all physical. So, and understand as well that your feelings belong to you, but they aren't who you are. That gives you permission to let them flow and to accept that you're feeling angry about something that intellectually you wish you weren't feeling angry about. You wish you were compassionate, but you're not. You're being judgmental. So I'm a horrible person. No, everybody feels these things. All right? So physical health needs taken care of. And I'm going to do the thing that I do with the 2 and the 1. Then we have written communication. We have information exchanged here. So the book is information, but it's secret information that has to be sought out. This is an information exchange, and it can be information that's sought out. But communication says we need to talk about how we feel, and we need to write about it. So birds would be more talking about it. Owl would be more having a deep conversation about it. This is specifically writing. So let's see. Well, we'll see how they bridge together. And then we have the sickle, which talks about cutting something off. All right. The magnifying glass. Okay, so we've got physical health and we have written communication. That can be reading something. The magnifying glass to me here talks about research, looking closely into, looking deeply into. So it's saying that when we look into our physical health, and since we started overall with our feelings and our emotions, we're saying here that we need to look into our feelings, look into the physical nature of our emotions, look into what symptoms we may be having that are coming from an emotional source. And, people talk about psychosomatic illnesses, which are illnesses based in, it's all in your head, or it's just because of emotions you're having. That doesn't make it false. Emotions are physical. They can cause physical dis-ease. Okay. Now we have choice. So between written communication, written information, and the sickle, cutting things off. Let me look up the sickle. Scythe. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. Be careful, I am swift and sharp. I cut through with precision and a sharp and clear vision. I am an accident, a deep cut, a break, or sometimes a difficult decision that needs to be made. Oh my God, I know exactly what this is talking about for me. I can bring good harvest or danger. Look at what I am cutting nearby. It just might be your wage. Well, what's cutting here is a choice. This is the choice card. Can I tell you that my husband is facing a decision about which type of surgery to get? About what might be needed? Sorry, I need to open my window. Just fascinating. But for us in general, so the scythe can also talk about a decision because it cuts things in two. And this says that there's a choice ahead of us. So we do our research. We look into matters of health and, matters of the heart, which are impacting health. We get information on it and we make choices. And the choice is about, which way to go with the information. It's kind of like the information comes in and we choose what to cut out in order to maintain health. And then we have the house. And the house can be a symbol for your physical body, certainly in dream stuff. Okay. I'm your family and your base, your ground and your home. I give you stability and comfort. I'm your living arrangement and environment. I am what surrounds you and your estate. The cards around me will give you signs on my present state or what the future will dictate. So we have choices about, and where you live, your environment, has everything to do with your health, and it has everything to do with your emotional health, your mental, physical, spiritual health, the environment that you create for yourself. So ultimately here, what we're talking about is using the tension that we're feeling right now, using the emotions that we're feeling right now in order to guide us towards what we need to do to take care of the physical health, what information we need to look into to make choices about what we're going to cut out of our life. We've got to make definitive decisions about our health on every level, and the outcome here is stability. When we do these things, when we do the research and make the decisions, then we gain a solid foundation and stability. I like these cards. I knew I would. That's why I bought them. But, they're really awesome. I like them a lot. And I do like Ciro Marchetti. Interesting that some of the verses are these nice little rhyming things and the other ones aren't. And I do respect that because that was an author that wrestled with some of them and tried to smash them into a rhyme scheme and went, fuck it, it's not worth it. They just need to know what it means, So I do totally have mad respect for that. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with my messy ass tonight and looking at a new deck. And I will see you Wednesdays and Saturdays for live streams and for the random unboxings here and there and other sort of random spiritual type videos. So until I see you next time, whenever that is, if you like what I do, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. There's videos every week. There's at least 3 things happening every week. If you really, really love me, send me money. There are links below that you can send me some tips. There's also a link where you can buy me a deck and get a reading for your very own self on this channel, on my unboxing video, and that is a really fun way to go. And if you're even thinking about doing something like that, I send you blessings for it and for coming and hanging out on my channel. All right, you guys, till next time, stay safe, be cool, turn blue, scratch glass, stay sick. This is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.